Well, I grew up in the church, and most of my memories are around my immediate family. Um, my mother was brought into the church by my father, and I never knew anything but going to church. In family life, I had two little sisters. We were fairly close. One sister was
When I was growing up, that was in the 40s and the 50s. And I grew up in a very modest household. I didn't think, at the time, I thought we had everything, but we didn't really have all that much. Because back in the 50s, it was really hard. We had a family household of 8. I graduated high school in the mid-60s, and the threat of the Vietnam War was hanging over all teenagers' head. And I got a job working in downtown Dallas at Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas. And I worked there from 1964 to 1969, but during that time, as I said, Vietnam was hanging over the head of all young men, and I joined the Navy.
After I graduated high school, I'd been dating my wife for a while, my wife now, and we had been dating for about a year. And when I graduated high school, I moved to Longview to be close to her.
I am married to Steve. He's the love of my life. I met him when I was 15. We got married when I was 17, and he was 19.
My name is Weeks, and my dad is Steve Weeks, and I am his baby girl.
All of them.
At the Federal Reserve Bank, I met my lovely wife, and shortly after I got out of the service, she and I were married, and it's been a wonderful life ever since. This is my lovely wife, Regina, and we've been married 55 years. So, we're still together, and really enjoying it, and we've had a real good life. We continue to do so. We expect many, many more years ahead of us. And, we have a really nice family. She's a real big support for me, and I'm a support for her, so it works out good that way.
That's another pretty good story. We came over here one Sunday and we were looking around just to see what it looked like because we were coming over here to preach. And when we first drove through the neighborhood, we said, kind of looked at each other and said, not sure this is where we want to be. And there was another little place out in the country that we were looking at a little further away, but much more comfortable to us as far as size and people. And the neighborhood was a whole lot better. And so we weren't really sure when we came over here, but we found a very friendly congregation. And when I sat down with the elders here and talked with them, and they offered me a salary I just couldn't turn down. For my family and for all of us, it was just perfect.
We were looking for a church home. Back, my family, we had a family, we had our 3 children, and we were looking for a church home that could fit our needs and our fulfillment of relationship with people. And we knew a lot of people that attended here at the Raleigh congregation, and we were encouraged when we came over. And my wife and I have been here 41 years and have really enjoyed every minute of it.
Well, after graduating from school, we started in a very small congregation in East Texas that didn't have elders or deacons. And it was a trial of sorts, because one of the things I'd always wanted and was concerned about was just hopping from church to church with my family. I wanted my kids to have a place to call home. And so I set out with the idea that I would serve as long as possible wherever God put me.
Those who are newcomers, those who are old timers,
And you got the same thing with folks who live in Jerusalem and stay there all the time. You got the folks who are in from out of town.
What I do, and I need to do more often, I do read the Bible. And I think about positive things. I think about a little bit of meditation and prayer. And it helps me get through the day.